it's March and it is Women's History Month. Now, I wanted to come on and talk about this year, 2022, the International Women's Day is March 8th. And the theme for this year is Break the Bias. And oh, how do I know about bias? This is a theme that is very near and dear to my heart because whether it's conscious or unconscious, bias makes it difficult for women or anyone to advance. And this is very dear to me because for those of you who don't know, I'm Trina L. Martin. I am the CEO and founder of Trina L. Martin International. And I help women of color in tech get the pay, promotions, and respect they deserve, as well as training companies on how to hire, promote, and retain women of color in tech. So the break the bias theme this year is right up my alley because, as we all know, women in tech, especially women of color in tech, are underrepresented. And that's where I come in at. And this break the bias theme and hashtag is very important because not only in tech and with women, but all across the world. And I think that's something that we all need to work towards, breaking the bias, the discrimination, the things like that that keep us separate or keep us feeling that one group is better than another group. So with that theme, the International Women's Day, they are asking that in solidarity that you post your arms crossed like this to show the Xing out of bias. So I will be doing that in support of that. But also, I wanted to let you know that this month I am kicking off my coaching program, which is called Tech Trifecta, and it is for women of color in tech, for those who want one-on-one coaching on how to overcome those obstacles and get past the barriers that are causing them and hindering them not to get the promotions and pay they deserve. And the link is right there on the screen. But why this is so important to me is because as a woman and a Black female who has been the only woman of color in rooms, and especially having a 2-decade career in tech, I have experienced numerous just bias on every level and every instance. Some conscious from people, some unconscious. One of the ones that I could think of when I was planning to come on was I had a coworker who had a son who was interested in going into the tech industry. And they knew I had a background in that. I had a degree in computer science. So they were asking me questions, and as I was telling this coworker about the path that their son needed to take, she was looking at me kind of like she was in agreement, but she really was just kind of like, yeah, okay, until a young white female coworker stood up and said, hey, I agree with Trina. Everything she's saying is spot on. And this person who originally came to me for the advice, she stood up and thanked that person. So I was kind of taken back by that because I was like, well, I've had 2 decades in this industry and you asked me advice, which I gave you from my expertise and my experience. And I guess she didn't believe me or didn't know what I was talking about until someone else validated that. But then she stood up and she thanked the person who validated everything that I was saying. So that's a form of bias. And whether you know it or not, it happens all the time. And I am just so on a mission to make the tech industry equal and inclusive for women, but especially women of color. So that's my mission, and that's what I do. But I also wanted to share with you that starting the 12th of March, I will be speaking at the International Women's Day Summit. And this is for any woman that you know who is amazing, but who needs strength and courage and just some heart and soul and something to get them motivated and moving in the right direction. So in the spirit of International Women's Day, this conference is going on. So if you, and I'll post the link in my comments for this video, but if you go there, the summit is free. If you want to upgrade to the VIP, please put in there that you heard about it from me and select me as one of the speakers. But I think it's going to be a very empowering summit for women who are looking to get strength and who are looking to have a community and a place where people know what they're going through, and just to get some hope and some uplifting. So that is something that I really wanted to share. But in the meantime, think about how you will actively help break the bias, whether it's in tech or whatever your area is, or just in general in the world, in the space of the world. Just think about how you're going to break that bias of stereotyping and of discrimination, gender bias, racial bias. All of these things are things that hinder us as a society. So for those of you who don't know, again, I am Trina L. Martin of Trina L. Martin International, and I help women of color in tech get the pay, promotions, and respect they deserve, all while showing up their authentic selves.